What's up, y'all? Woodsman here, and welcome to Cheap Knife Challenge. We're going to be taking the cheapest knives we can possibly find, putting them through a set of rigorous challenges to see if they hold up to the standards that we have for our knives for every day. So today here we have the Kershaw Hotwire. Now I went to Walmart and picked it up for a little over $8. It was the cheapest one I could find on the shelf. It is spring assisted. You can't. Now, I'm normally not an assisted opening type of guy. I'm kind of run old school. I like the thumb stud, and I can open it on my own pretty well. I don't have any trouble. To me, spring assisted is more parts to break, but I know a lot of people do like spring assisted. To be honest, I don't mind it on this knife. It has a 3-inch stainless steel blade, and it's got a close length of 3.75 inches, so it is a fairly small knife. Kind of too small for me, but I do like how well the liner lock is. It has a liner lock, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You can see it locks very well, and when it opens, it does feel pretty solid. So let's put it through a set of tests, and we'll see if it holds up. Another thing too is right out of the box, it does come pretty sharp. I was actually surprised that it was this sharp coming right off the shelf, especially from Walmart. So the first test is what I like to call the stab and bend. So we're going to take your knife, I'm going to grab a log or whatever, just stab it in, tip to the side. So that tests basically the blade strength, especially in the tip, which is really important in something like an everyday carry, that the blade is strong because you're using it on all kinds of stuff throughout the day. Now, I'm actually pretty surprised at the results from the first test. The blade is not actually that thin, so it did pretty well. I was stabbing it pretty hard. I think that the tip of the blade is just a tiny bit bent, but it's not too bad, barely even noticeable. You can barely even tell when you close it, it still looks like it's right on center, which is actually something else cool about the knife is it comes right on center from the box. A lot of knives don't come centered straight from the box. Next thing we're going to do with this little guy is carve up some sticks. We're going to see how well it holds up to carving some just sticks right off the ground, right off a tree, see if it's sharp enough and take that to accomplish that. Now, that was a live hardwood that I took right off the tree just seconds before filming the video. But as you can see, the knife did have some trouble just whittling little slivers off of it. You really had to bite down pretty hard to get to even bite into the piece of the stick at all. It wasn't sharp enough to cut it. I do think also the small blade also added to the difficulty of just whittling some tinder off of a stick. I definitely wouldn't carry this knife in a camping situation or anything like that where I'd have to use it for something like that. Now, as a side note, I know that this is not a survival knife. It's not meant for that kind of thing, but I like to have the capability with any knife that I'm carrying on me every day at all times to do that kind of stuff just in case I'm in a situation where I unexpectedly need to do something like that. So next what we're going to do is we're going to just split some wood in half. What I'm going to do is take a large stick or even a small log, take another piece of wood, stick it in the middle and just hammer down. See if we can split some wood in half to really test the blade strength on this guy. So the knife did pretty well splitting wood too, which I say a little surprised at. Other knives I've done that with have not gone all the way through, even broken some blades. I feel like that is because of the thickness of this blade. This blade is pretty thick. It's almost as thick as a buck Woodsman that I have. They're pretty close if you can't see that. And this is a full-size fixed blade hunting and outdoors knife, and this is an $8 everyday carry from Walmart. So yeah, still kind of surprised at his performance on that. Let's move on. So the last challenge is cutting rope and paracord, that kind of thing. I do a lot of that when I'm camping, tying up stuff onto a pack, putting up a hammock or a tent, that kind of stuff. So let's see how well this thing does cutting rope. What's up, y'all? So I have two lengths of poly rope. One's about a 1/4 inch thick and the other one's a little thinner. This is off of a longer roll that I have that I actually keep in my outdoor pack at all times. You never know when you're going to need to sling some food in a tree, splint up an injury, that kind of thing. So you never know. So it's just good to keep in there. Something I always do. And then a little thicker, just found in my garage. So we're going to see how this knife cuts it. So I do have to say that I'm fairly surprised at the performance of an $8 knife from Walmart. Now it is a Kershaw. They do have a good name, so I'm happy. I've never actually had a Kershaw before, but I have heard they're good knives. A couple things I don't like about this knife. For one, is spring assisted, which depending on the person may or may not be a plus or minus. The other thing I don't like is that it is really small. It barely fits in my hand. You can see my hand kind of sticks off the end when I'm using it. If I'm trying to push down hard on something, it's going to slip right out of my hand. The other thing is there's no place for your thumb. A lot of knives have a little bit of a groove right here for your thumb. When you're applying back pressure to something cutting it, if this knife doesn't have that, your thumb's just going to slide right off the blade. The other thing is, it did lose sharpness fairly fast. And you can see on the last clip where I was cutting some paracord, it cut the small paracord fine, but then, or not paracord, poly rope. It cut the small poly rope fine, but as soon as we moved on to the bigger one, it started to have some trouble, and I was pushing down really freaking hard on that. And then also you saw when I was whittling that stick, it had a lot of trouble biting into the wood even after I'd broken the bark and got down to the center. As a side note, I don't know if you guys saw that Honda that was in the video earlier. That is my car, but I'm getting a hold of a 2012 Chevy Silverado soon. I got a really good deal on it. It's an awesome situation. I'm going to be doing a build on that. It's going to be really exciting. You guys are going to want to see that in a few weeks. I'm going to have that and start to build. So another thing I just noticed about it is that the blade is slightly off-center. I literally got this knife like an hour ago. The blade's already off-centered. It's already losing its sharpness. And even the lock now, I just was playing around with it and it's starting to get looser. You can see the blade play right there and the liner lock. I would not carry this every day, and it is an $8 knife. So it did perform fairly well. I'm not upset about that, because you know how much you expect out of a Walmart knife. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was informative to you. If you enjoyed it or learned something from it, give me a like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more.
Welcome to the drop zone, got you in the crosshairs. Once I pull this trigger, they're gonna haul you out of here. Hunting is a lifestyle, survival of the fittest. We on a hunt, what you want, come on. Now you in a drop
Draw
zone.
down, exhale, one shot, one kill. We do it like this all day. Drop zone, y'all, we don't play. We chase them big